Welcome back to the workshop. It's Tyler from Iron River Armory, and today we're starting a very interesting build. But before that, if you've enjoyed the videos, like and subscribe and tell me what you guys want to see next down in the comments. And the project we're starting today is a glowing sting from Lord of the Rings. We're going to plasma cut it out of 1084 steel. We're going to use glow-in-the-dark resin to make it glow. Then we're going to 3D print all the parts of the handle and wrap it in leather. And make sure you stick around to see how it looks in the dark. First, we're going to start by designing the blade in Solidworks. We're using a picture of Sting for our reference. The blade will be about 18 inches and the handle will be about 5 inches. The design that's on the blade in the movie will be cut out on the plasma cutter and then filled with the glow-in-the-dark resin. Alright, the design's all done. Now it's time to move it to the plasma cutter to cut out the blade. We load the design into Fusion 360 to convert the file into code that the plasma cutter can read. Alright, the blade's all cut out. Next we're going to grind off all the molten metal caused by the plasma cutter and clean up the entire surface of the blade. Cleanup's all done, now it's on to grinding in the bevels. We're going to set the edge at about 11 degrees. The angle's quite steep, but it's to make sure we have enough metal to support the channel when we're chopping with this thing. We're going to start by painting the blade and scribing in edge guides to make sure we're on target. Bevels are all done, and now we're going to sand the edges with 180 grit sandpaper. This will get some of the deep scratches out from grinding in the bevels. Doing this before heat treat will make the final sanding a lot easier and faster. And I'm all for making hand sanding easier and faster. The pre-sanding's all done, now it's on to the heat treat. We're going to heat up the blade at 1450 degrees and then quench it in some oil. Then we're going to temper it at 500 degrees for 2 hours to make it less brittle.
Two hours later.
Alright, now that the heat treat's done, we get to do my favorite part, sand, sand, sand. Alright, hand sanding's all done, and now we're on to the glow-in-the-dark epoxy resin. We're going to start by taping one side of the blade so we're able to fill the channel with the epoxy resin. Then once it hardens, we're going to sand it and polish it. Then we get to see if it glows in the dark. Alright, let's see if it glows. 1, 2, 3. Look at that. Nice. Alright, now that the blade's all done, we're going to move on to the handle. There's going to be 3 pieces on the handle. A guard, a hand grip, and a palm. We're going to 3D print the pommel and the handle out of the silver resin, and the hand grip will be brown and wrapped in leather. Now that all the parts of the handle are printed, we're going to sand them down. Once they're all sanded, we're going to add a thin layer of black paint to the silver parts to give an aged metal look. Then we're going to glue it onto the blade. Alright, now that the handle's all glued on, we're going to wrap the hand grip with the leather to finish it off.